We're in Abuja for round 15 and it is raining somewhat heavily. Ocampo starts on pole from Volstad and Baltasarov, and it's Milan, Revo and Ukable. David Camino starts 7th, then it's Tommy and Cosmos up in 9th. Sanchez starts 10th, followed by Sierra and Lopez, then it's Carter, Gabo and Leo in 15th. Marcus Nelson starts 16th, then it's iWorld, not Kiwi, Mulrez, Lars Leclerc, Michael Nolkevov, and Vastientan in 22nd. We're on the precipice of London, then the final sprint towards the London Prix is about to begin, and it all starts here in Abuja. All 5 points go on. Can we go green in Abuja? And that's a very good start from Volstad off the line. They're going to go drag racing with Baltasarov as well, if he can join in on this fight, heading down into the first chicane then. Volstad with the inside line coming through 1, but Ocampo snapping back at turn 2. Sierra in this little concertina effect, getting a 5-second time penalty. Revo drops to P6 behind Ukable, and he might drop up behind Tommy as well. Gabo with a 5-second time penalty, a championship contender, still not really having the best time of it, as out of the race goes Santino Milan, sliding as Santino Milan, and hitting Santino Milan is Revo there, and he's been forced to have a very, very massive incident, has the Nissan Nismo man, and we just hope he's okay, because he went literally barrel rolling. Revo incurred a little bit of damage from hitting this side of the Nissan car, did not get a time penalty for that, because of course came back onto the track, lucky to still be in this race, but it is Sebastian Ocampo leading the way as the virtual safety car ends at the end of this lap. Volstad could be on for a very good restart as we go back racing in the night and the rain of Abuja in Nigeria. On Wahia State being where this track is located, but we officially call it the Abuja Prix after the capital city of the great nation of Nigeria, one of the best known countries in Africa. We do have an African driver in this championship still, I believe, as we go on to lap 2 of 12. Volstad closing in on Sebastian Ocampo, Norway versus the Philippines. And at this point, I would strongly urge you, if you like one of the drivers who are currently fighting for the win here in Nigeria, or prefer to see another driver further back win a race with the final 3 rounds to go in this championship, do I have some news for you. Vote in the description. There is a Google form where you can vote for your favorite driver. The top 3 drivers in that vote will get fan boost. And that fan boost is basically a power increase for the final 3 rounds of the championship. As you can see, some drivers would probably need that. For example, iWorld and Leclerc didn't really get the best of starts. Same for Mulrez and Nolkevov. However, Vastientan had a vastly better start. Revo finds himself back up into 5th after the kerfuffle earlier on. You can see still some drivers wanting to go 3 wide there. Tigano, even though he is in the championship fight, you'd expect him to be a little bit more cautious. He knows that he has to be rambunctious sometimes, and I think he's found that sometime. As Akari up into 10th place, ahead of both the Virgin driver and the Nissan Nismo man. So on to lap number 3 we go. Ocampo with the fastest 3rd sector of anyone. There's a lot less standing water on track, but the rain is still falling, although it's mainly just spitting around the 1st sector. There is some rain in the 3rd sector, not a lot in sector 2, however, and that's mainly where you want less rain in the fast flowing bit. Sector 1 has, of course, the heavy braking points, but with sector 2 being this, Marcus Nelson further back, getting a 5-second time penalty, and he spinning as Marcus Nelson, getting his own teammate as Marcus Nelson, trying to get himself, in fact, pointing the right direction as he now drops to the back of the grid. The number 13 with 13% on his card, a damage rate sensor that he can see on his steering wheel. Track's been cleared, but he's going to have to come into the pits at the end of this lap to repair front wing damage. That could have been caused with Jack Carter, to be completely honest with you, and we hope it wasn't. But anyway, Hyperdrive Racing, in their last season in the FEMC, running a special livery event with the Nigerian flag adorning the back of the car to the point where you can barely even see the entire flag with how a lot of the cars are designed. But now, Revo on the back of U-Cable, he's going to try and close in as much as he can. With a green and white flag on the back of his car, he really only wants to see the black and white flag first. And to do that, well, he's going to have to get himself higher up the order. So 4th place overtake on U-Cable, done smoothly, is exactly how he would want to improve his standing, as he's now free to chase after fellow European Daniel Bogdasarov. In fact, in the top 5, the only non-European driver is the man who's leading the race, Sebastian Ocampo. U-Cable is from the United Kingdom, as Marcus Nelson now pits, and he tries now to get past Revo. He's going to send it down the inside at turn 10, and he gets ahead at turn 10, as Bastien Tan is officially out of this race, and potentially out of the title fight. That right there is the McLaren number 22 car, and he is out. That is an unsighted incident, possibly caused with Leo in that Aurelio Pinnacle car, but I don't think it was, because that would have required so many things to happen there. And I think Bastian's just had an issue in the wet, similar to Santina Milan at the start of the race, and similar to possibly Marcus Nelson earlier on. I can't believe we're only on lap 4 of 12 though. Very few laps in the Formula E Monopoly Championship. There will be a regulated lap count in the FG series, only 7 laps over there, with no mandatory pit stops, as Falstad gaining on Ocampo, getting closer, ever closer to the back of that DS Andretti car, sends it down the inside in his McLaren TGR. It's not quite close enough to get past him, and with Bogdasarov getting ever closer, he knows he has to make this move now, or possibly never, considering the race as Revo in the barriers. Oh, he tries to go around the outside at turn 4. He's lucky not to have incurred any front wing damage, but now he's in the thick of the pack. He's got Sanchez, Camino, all of these guys following him now, and this is the pack running from 5th down to 10th now, so he can drop outside of the points potentially, which would really hinder his championship challenge. As we've seen, Michael Nokovov drop to 19th there for a second. Revo has dropped down to 6th position. So this is the definition of suboptimal for the Italian driver. And speaking of Italians and suboptimal, if you haven't already, subscribe to Alpha Max Nova. He's a YouTuber. He's got so much more subscribers than me, so much more talent than me, and has been an inspiration at certain points. As is there a problem with the number 1 hyperdrive car? Camino has just driven past him. That slipstream, of course, but that looks way too easy to just be a slipstream overtake. As on lap 6 of 12, Bogdasarov, well, I said it was now or never for Oscar Falstad, and it looks like it's going to have to be never, because now he's fighting over second with Bogdasarov, defending with everything that he has to keep himself up in that 2nd position. They go very deep, almost a wall shown to Bogdasarov. Not quite, but he's lost time to the Norwegian man ahead of him. And in the wall there, once again, a man in the wall. This time it's David Camino, and he's come off way worse. He's lost his front wing column, and that's caused by Jeff Sanchez, I think, running him into the wall. That's helped Revo, it seems, quite a bit. And with DS Automobiles, which is currently factory team, they won't be the factory team for too much longer. Bit of wheel banging going on there, with Andretti for the first time not looking as if they can win the Constructors title. It looks like they should try and help the guys they fought the Constructors title first and most recently in hyperdrive racing. So of course that's what they're doing, helping Revo, it seems, keep himself in the top 6 at the very least. Points only run down to 10th in this championship as it does in Formula 1. As on to the main straight we go. Lap 7 of 12. Rain has not cleared up recently. Again, that rain is mainly only in the second. It's mainly only in the first and third sections, not really seen in the second. As into the pits comes David Cameron. So that promotes all the drivers behind him up into the points bank positions. As you can see, this is the fight over 8th or 7th. This is the fight for 7th position. And there was a point in time where we saw fights for the lead this intense, but it's side by side between Cosmos and out of the race goes Cosmos. He was fighting with Akari over 7th position. He's out of the race now. And that's one way to go out. That is one way most drivers would prefer not to go out of the race by. As we go on board with iWorld, driving a Mercedes Formula 18 car for possibly the last time in this championship for now. VSC ending. Ocampo is going to lead us back to green. And we go green here in Abuja, where the trees are green, the curbs are green, the country flag is green and white. It's just kind of green, you know how it is. And just side note, this track, of course, in Monoposto, this is the Saudi Arabia track. Saudi Arabia's tracks in curbs in real life are green and white. The country flag of Nigeria is green and white. It just fits so well. I barely even have to do anything. Volstad somewhat dropping off at the back of Ocampo, so he might not be able to challenge for the lead. I think Ocampo might be able to take his and DS-Andretti's win today. And Sierra, Jack Carter, all of these drivers coming into the pits, they're changing their inters as a strategic decision. They're not concerned whether or not it's going to get dry at the end of the race. They're more concerned with how long their tires are going to last, because currently it doesn't seem like they're going to last too much longer, those intermediate tires. They hold up for a very long time, but this is the first time in a long time that they're actually being tested over a full race distance. None of those guys came in and left the pits on dry tires, so all the teams still seeing that little cloud of rain on the radar. There's still a chance that it clears up. We hope that it clears up so that maybe the racing can get a little bit closer. But of course, we don't know that until that checkered flag falls, and it's too late to predict. All we can say is look back on retrospect and just go, so that's what happened. Attack mode still disabled, so Revo, he wants to get past Sanchez and back up into where he started, that being 5th position. He's going to need the attack charges into the pits from Sebastian Ocampo on lap 8 of 12. He's going to come into his pit box on lap 9, however. Volstad comes in with him. Bogdasarovin, the entire top half of the field comes into the pit lane. Are those dry tires? Those are dry compound tires going onto Ocampo's car. Softs go onto Ocampo's car. He will maintain the race lead. Volstad is still second. Cable is still fourth, with Bogdasarov still third. Sanchez is still fifth. Revo is still sixth. iWorld went on to hard tires. Considering the tire wear we've seen on the dry, in the free practice sessions, there's still a chance, of course, that it does need hard tires to go into the cars, and that's what Kameno and Nokovov have done. They will comfortably go to the end, same as all the medium tire guys, but with the guys who have gone out there on softs, they're really risking it for the end of the E3. There is a very good chance come race's end that they might have just shot themselves in the foot. But as for Revo, I don't think he cares. He just wants to hold on to 6th. Okay. So Gabo will get himself some much needed points. This will see him up to 2nd in the world driver standings. But heading into the final 3 rounds, it'll be an absolute mountain for him to climb to take the championship away from Revo, who's looking to become the first double champion since Speed Dragon Sonic did it when, ironically, Revo moved up Mercedes with EQ for the first season. for a second season in his career. On to lap 10 of 12. Ocampo setting a fastest third sector of anyone. But look at the tyre wear. 72% on Ocampo's tyres, 80% on Volstad. Volstad will be able to make it to the end, as Sanchez has found his way up into 4th position. He's going to try and infiltrate the podium and possibly even make it an Andretti 1 and 2. But it's all about whether or not he can do it, of course. But it's a lot easier said than done, because he's also got to manage those tyres. As you can see, UK Ball, he's got that little more confidence in his tyres, knowing that they're going to last longer. Of course, when you've got more confidence, you can just have that little voice in your head go, yeah, you can use the tyres a little more. You're maybe lifting and coasting a little much. Try and lean on your tyres a bit more. And of course, that can be a little harmful later on in the race when you need the tyres. If they came in on lap 10, the lap that we're currently on, there would be no such talk about tyre wear issues, as UK Ball goes alongside Sanchez back ahead of the Andretti man. So of course, I think it might not have been enough in that DS Andretti to keep him ahead. But he's going to have attack mode going down the straight. Ocampo, his teammate, gets the fastest lap as one to the penultimate lap of the Prix. Revo's come in for his second stop. He's in for another pit stop. He's got almost, it would have been a free stop if he was with Sanchez, but it's not. Tommy's come in as well, so he sacrificed track position just for security later on in the race. Sanchez has found himself ahead of UK Ball, but he's also found himself with some pretty shit tyres. The UK Ball, following in the wake of Staff Sanchez, forced very close to the wall, was the season 10 champion, but he just manages to stay out of it. Revo is coming out of the pits just outside of the points paying positions, with Iwald being the man currently ahead of him. I do have a blocked nose here, as out of the race has gone David Camino. There is David Camino, and it looks like Leclerc also spinning. He's lost part of his front wing, has the British monocask driver on this penultimate lap. And I thought we could have seen some tyre blowouts. I just hope we don't. 30% for Sebastian Ocampo, 29. If he hits 24 before he crosses the line, it is effectively over. 27, 26, and here it comes. Comes through the final turn. He's at 25% tyre wear, and he's going to start the final lap with his tyre wear flashing. 24%, 23 will come back to him later on as Bogdasarov gets past Oscar Volstad. Revo gets a track limits warning while fighting Iwald over the last points paying position. He's up into 10th position as he now closes in on Leo, who is thinking of making a very, very late lunge, but will get attack mode to try and get past the Aurelio Pinnacle driver, as out of the race has gone both Sebastian Ocampo and Daniel Bogdasarov. Wall riding that turn, out has gone Ocampo, and he's had to succumb to the low tyre wear. So Bogdasarov now leads the way, but he's got massive damage. So I think there's a very good chance that, yes, Virgin might actually have a 1-5 here today on the road. It might actually stay a 1-5 if Akari can't close in enough. But the bigger threat is Oscar Volstad in the McLaren TGR car to try and get past. We've got yellows in sector 1. Out of the race is Lawless Leclerc. Seemingly a similar problem. Sierra struggling with his tyres as well, weaving like a madman, and out of the race has gone P. Sierra, and spinning out has gone P. Sierra. Out as well Marcus Nelson at the same time. So Volstad won't get an opportunity to try and get past. Staff Sanchez probably would have preferred this race to have ended a few laps ago, as we're under VSC. 3% tyre wear, 2%. He's gonna hit 0 before we even reach the final turn. As we come through the penultimate turn, VSC is ending, and Daf Sanchez has hit 0. Daf Sanchez hit 0 in his DS Automobiles car. T. Gabo also to hit 0, but for Daniel Bogdasarov, he needed those yellow flags as he comes across the line. and he's gotten himself a race win today. Massive shunt further back, however, Bogdasarov wins in Abuja, but look at the damage. U-Cable up into third, however, as, massive shunt, Revo 5-second time penalty. He's got damage as well, and that's been caused by Dav Sanchez. Out has gone Tigado, so that's going to help Revo in his title charge. A million. Sanchez out of the E3 as well, and that is one way to end the race. One surefire way to end your replay. And Revo's not even going to be able to keep his position. Carter comes in. He had a puncture at the end of the race as well, so he'll finish the race in the pits like Michael Schumacher did. And like U-Cable did at the end of season 9 or 8. I can't remember. This is the podium then. Bogdasarov finishes the race with a broken front wing, but still manages to win it from Oscar Falstad and U-Cable, your top 3. Then it's Akari Lopez, Neil Rez, Leo, Iwald, Revo, the top 8. Then it's Michael Novakov and Tommy, the top 10. The rest of the finishers being Noah Kiwi and Jack Carter. Your non-finishers were Dav Sanchez, T. Gabo, Sebastian Ocampo, who was leading for most of this race, but for the guys between 13th and 15th, and including Jack Carter. In fact, they also came to punctures at the end of the race. P. Sierra also retired from the C3 due to tyre troubles. Marcus Nelson and Chiclet also suffered tyre troubles at the end of the race. However, that was only lack of grip rather than a puncture. David Camno also out of the race alongside Cosmos, Sebastian Tan and Santino Milan. Well, with 78 points left on offer, the gap between Revo and Bastian Tan / T. Gabo, that is 31. Is it 31? Yeah, 31 points, the gap between them. That's more than a race win, so they need to step up their game. With Bogdasarov, in fact, in this title fight as well, and Falstad probably in it as well, alongside U-Cable, the top 6, all with a mathematical shot heading into the final 3 rounds of the season. Followed by both Marcus Nelson and Akari Lopez tied on 75 points in 7th. Then it's Jack Carter on 69 nice points in 9th. Iwald is 10th. Then it's Sebastian Ocampo, Leo, Neil Rez, Dav Sanchez, Lars Leclerc, Cosmos, P. Sierra, Enoch Kiri, David Camno, Santino Milan, Michael Notkov, and Tommy. So in the constructors' standings heading into the next round in Copenhagen, Virgin Renault lead the way on 223 points from Hyperdrive Racing on 212. Then it's McLaren and TGR on 210. Aurelio Pinnacle is 4th on 132 points. Then it's App Sportsman on 118. Pro Honda GP on 116. Andretti on 106. Mercedes Formula E team in their swan song season on 101 points. Mahindra on 62, Nissan on 54, and Next EV Neo on 36. We'll see you guys next time then when the Formula E Monopoly Championship returns.